Okay, next up in Masterclass, we have actors Noah and Riley working through an excerpt from the play Doubt by John Patrick Shanley.
Good afternoon, Sister James.
Good afternoon, Father.
What is that bird complaining about? What kind of bird is that? A starling? A grackle?
A crow?
Of course it is. Are you praying? I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm not praying, no.
You seem subdued.
Oh, I can't sleep.
Why not?
Bad dreams. Actually, one bad dream, and then I haven't slept right since.
What about?
There was a darkness where my face should be.
Nope. I looked in a mirror.
I looked in a mirror. There was a darkness.
And there was a darkness.
And there was a darkness where my face should be. It frightened me.
I can't sleep on occasion.
No? Do you see that big hand pointing a finger at you?
Yes, sometimes.
Was your sermon directed at anyone in particular?
What do you think?
Did you make up the story about that pillow?
Yes, you make up little stories to illustrate in the tradition of the parable.
Aren't the things that actually happen in life more worthy of interpretation than a made-up story?
No, what actually happens in life is beyond interpretation. The truth makes for a bad sermon. It tends to be confusing and have no clear conclusion.
I received a letter from my brother in Maryland yesterday. He's very sick.
Maybe you should go and see him.
I can't leave my class.
How's Donald Mueller doing?
I don't know.
You don't see him?
I see him every day, but I don't know how to judge these things.
I see him every day, but I don't know how he's doing.
But I don't know how he's doing. Now, I don't know how to judge these things. Now.
I stopped speaking to him for fear of it being misunderstood. Isn't that a shame? I actually avoided him the other day when I might have passed him in the hall. He doesn't understand why. I noticed you didn't come to me for confession.
No. I went to Monsignor Benedict. He's very kind.
I wasn't?
It's not that, as you know. You know why.
You're against me?
No.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't that, as you know. You know why.
You're against me?
No.
You're not convinced?
It's not me that has to be convinced.
It's not
but
for me.
me to be convinced, one way or the other. It's Sister Aloysius.
Are you just an extension of her?
She's my superior.
But what about you?
I wish I knew nothing whatsoever about it. I wish the idea had never entered my mind.
How did it enter your mind?
Sister Aloysius?
I feel as if my reputation has been damaged through no fault of my own, but I'm reluctant to take the steps necessary to repair it for fear of doing further harm. It's frustrating, I can tell you that.
Is it true?
Is what true?
What?
What?
You know what I'm asking.
No, it's not true.
Oh. I don't know what to believe.
How can you take sides against me?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. I've done nothing. There's no substance to any of this. The most innocent actions can appear sinister to the poisoned mind. I did throw that poor boy off the altar. He's devastated. The only reason I haven't gone to the Monsignor is I don't want to tear apart this school. Sister Aloysius would most certainly lose her position as principal if I made her accusations known. Since they're baseless, you might lose your place as well.
Are you threatening me?
What do you take me for? No.
I want to believe you.
Then do. It's as simple as that.
It's not me that has to be convinced.
I don't have to prove anything to her.
She's determined.
To what?
Protect the boy.
It's me that cares about that boy, not her. Has she ever reached out a helping hand to that child or any child in this school? She's like a block of ice. Children need warmth, kindness, understanding. What does she give them? Rules. That black boy needs a helping hand or he's not going to make it here. But if she has her way, he'll be left to his own undoing. Why do you think he was in the sacristy drinking wine that day? He's in trouble. She sees me talk in a human way to these children and she immediately assumes there must be something wrong with it. Something dirty. Well, I'm not going to let her keep this parish in the dark ages, and I'm not going to let her destroy my spirit of compassion.
I'm sure that's not her intent.
I care about this congregation.
I know you do.
Like you care about your class. You love them, don't you?
Yes.
That's normal. That's natural. How else would you relate to children? I can look at your face and know your philosophy. Kindness.
I don't know. I mean, of course.
What is Sister Aloysius's philosophy, do you suppose?
I don't have to suppose. She's told me. She discourages warmth. She suggests I be more formal.
There are people who go after your humanity, Sister James, who tell you the light in your heart is a weakness, that your soft feelings betray you. I don't believe that. It's an old tactic of cruel people to kill kindness in the name of virtue. Don't believe it. There's nothing wrong with love.
Of course not, but
Have you forgotten that was the message of the Savior to us all? Love, not suspicion, disapproval, and judgment. Love of people. Have you found Sister Aloysius a positive inspiration?
I don't want to misspeak. But no. She's taken away my joy of teaching, and I loved teaching more than anything.
It's all right. You're going to be all right.
I feel as though everything is upside down.
It isn't, though. There are just times in life when we feel lost. You aren't alone with it. It happens to many of us.
A bond. I'd better go in.
I'm sorry your brother is ill.
Thank you, Father. I don't believe it.
You don't?
No.
Thank you, sister. That's a great relief to me. Thank you very much. Oh, be quiet.
Okay. First master class for both of you. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. What?
What? I'm just getting ready.
For what?
You.
All right. So, my dear child, Riley,
Yes.
who's grown up here in the studio,
Yes.
who hasn't spent much time with script with us, a lot of time in improv,
Thank you.
and I'm about to send you off into the real world without getting to work on more master classes beyond this. So I have to be very careful to navigate your confidence and make you better at the same time. So
Oh,
we missed the play. We missed it.
missed the play.
The play, right. So you got the words mostly.
Yeah.
It must be perfect. You cannot paraphrase a single word.
Oh, yes.
This is a Pulitzer Prize winner.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Like for my character and like in the moment, everything.
Yeah. What's the like really summarize the what's happening?
For me personally, I have so much going on in my life, and my brother's sick, and I am just so overwhelmed. And then I have sister.
But that your brother's
Aloysius.
sick is irrelevant. sort of. I mean, what's going on in the play? What's
Sister-
What's the play about?
So we have our priest and our father Flynn, who is being accused of pedophilia in the church. And there was a child caught with alcohol, and he's the only black child in the school. And Sister Aloysius is completely against him. And my character is kind of brought in this middle position of, it's not really my place, but I'm in it. And I've been like working with him for years, but Sister Aloysius is the head of the school. And so it's just, his character is trying to talk to my character about like, why wouldn't I believe him? But I'm just in the middle.
Yes, okay. That's a soft summary. I'm going to say a few words. Racism,
Yes.
segregation, pedophilia. Heavy. Heavy. So there's a responsibility that we have to the seriousness with which we approach the material. I'll assume you know, you don't have to me.
Sorry, that's just how I like it.
I know. So, if we figure out, if we go back, and I did mention this to you about studying the Catholic Church. I grew up in the Catholic Church. I know a lot about it. In the time period that we're in, where the setting of this play takes place, we're still dealing with things like even the word gay. I forgot to mention the word gay. Again, all the words I mentioned are like, oh my, don't say that word out loud. Like, they're really uncomfortable. This play deals with all of it. And it takes a master tactician to orchestrate words in such a way that we can deal with the material, have laugh moments, have cry moments, fall in love with the characters, and end up in a place of doubt. It is so skillfully written. In the Catholic Church, especially at this time, the priest is a celebrity. Your character is infatuated with him as a celebrity figure and as a father figure. The amount of respect you have for him is immeasurable. He gets invited out for dinner by 3 different families every night, and he picks whether or not he's going to go or not go. And they better pull out the fine china or he ain't coming back. He is a celebrity. He's also, this particular priest is very charismatic. He is really good. He's turning this church around. He's lifting everyone up. The pews are filled because this guy knows how to talk. He knows how to deliver a sermon that just makes everybody excited. He knows how to coach the boys in basketball to get them to understand certain things. And so it's such a hard thing for her to deal with. The idea that he could be capable of this. The same way it would be hard for anyone to deal with it, which is probably why it didn't get dealt with for so long. Because it's this, as we have found out over time, this is an analogy for every profession. Turns out the teachers are doing it. Turns out the police officers were doing it. Turns out the doctors were doing it. Like, they're everywhere. And these people who abuse children and who use their power to do so, my personal belief, some of the most evil people on the planet. Why is he walking into the scene?
He's approaching her in a garden,
Why?
sitting on a bench.
Why?
Why? because he wants to clear his reputation.
That's right. He's got motives. He just got out of a talk with someone else. We're going for the next thing. He just saw something. He's got all this stuff going on. What he knows he needs is an ally. What he knows he needs is to poke a hole in the story that people are telling about him. She's the only one. She's the only eyewitness to hearsay. Nothing could possibly stick. There's no evidence. Mm-hmm. But if you can turn her, you're good. So you see her. Should you be talking to her? Per the rules. Why? It's mentioned in the play. A priest and a nun should not be alone.
Yeah.
That's highly inappropriate. You don't cross the lines. You know, they get their space, you get your space. There's a sort of common middle ground, right? Mm-hmm. Sister Aloysius says in the play, something about she loves gardening, but she doesn't get to go out there because Monsignor what's-his-name is always out there piddling around. Mm-hmm. And so she has to wait her turn. So just you approaching in general is a big deal. It's a decision you make. Mm-hmm. Now, you are king of this castle, so if anybody can break the rules, it's you. But when he approaches, just the idea of a man, nevertheless the father, the celebrity coming up and into your space where he's not supposed to be, and you're carrying with you the weight of what you know or think you don't know, and you would want anything to just be a child again. That one of the magical things about the play Doubt is we watch Sister James grow up. We watch her start as this young girl who's trying her best, and Sister Aloysius, to her credit, says you must be sharp. You must discipline the children. They will not respect you unless you discipline them. You're not their friend, you are their teacher. I specifically agree with Sister Aloysius. Mm-hmm. I think you earn fun as a teacher. There's a reason the kids will do what I say when I say to do it, and then they'll laugh 2 seconds later because there's an element of a demand of respect. And I'm not here to be their friend, and if I was trying to be their friend, it would be inappropriate. So when I say we missed the play, it's we missed your thought life when you see her. We should see that in your eyes, in the background. When he starts to walk up, we should feel his energy, you feeling his energy and the weight of that. Your thought life filled with remembering Donald Muller's face. Trying to interpret, what does it mean? Because there's two options here. He's either a progressive, somewhat liberal priest. Maybe there's three options. Progressive, somewhat liberal priest who is fighting for the one kid who's black and trying not to get the kid in trouble beyond what he needed to because he thought if this kid gets kicked out of the school, he's not going to have a shot. Second option, he's gay, the priest. He notices that the black boy is also gay. He sees the signs of it. He chose the priesthood. There's a secondary element to you trying to protect this boy from the harms of the Irish kids that are going to come after him for being the way that he is. The third element is you are grooming him. And all could be true. where you've not done anything technically, but you might have known what you were doing. Maybe you didn't do anything technically, but you have some kind of a gay background or something on the side that's happening, because you definitely have guilt. I think that's evident in here. I love the fact that we don't get to define it, because what I love about this play is when it's done right, the audience goes out for coffee afterward and they argue over if he's guilty or not. Well, this, well, that, well, this. It's perfect, it's great, because then we're talking about theater. Awesome. Now, backing up, she says, what about, I think she says this to Sister Aloysius. I don't know if you remember this or not. Something about her experience with men. And she says, I've been a nun, since the beginning. What does that mean? She's never been with a boy.
Yeah.
She's been in this life.
I knew that.
Her whole life. So let's call it 10.
Yeah.
Okay. She doesn't know anything else.
Yeah.
So I love you as a person. She would never in a bazillion years have makeup on. She would never in a bazillion years have done her eyelashes or show her hair. She would be so pulled back and humble because she doesn't know any other way. And just so you know, Sister Aloysius would whip her hand, would whip it. And I mean that. Like, actually, she would do that. Mm-hmm. You probably went through some of that, even as you were going through school to become a nun. Mm-hmm. The amount of discipline that it takes to be in this profession is incredible. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's something for us to aspire to, the amount of discipline. So that's where I'm going back and saying we're missing the play. We got the lines, which is good, and it's like fun to watch because the lines are so good, but it can be life-changing. It can be transformative when it's done at the high level. Mm-hmm. And it requires you to bring in with it the weight of those colorful words I said out loud. You bring in the weight of those things and you hold yourself accountable for that. And you are loud, you turn up the volume, you demand our attention because what you're talking about is very important information. Mm-hmm. That's how it's got to feel. Probably her shoes are wrong.
Okay. This was a talk. I don't own black shoes, and it's grad season, and I bought a nun costume, and I'm not spending more money.
That's a lame excuse, young lady, and I won't accept it. I will not accept it. Okay. There's a Goodwill up the street.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you, because that's what I'm telling you. I have to find this fine line because I don't get to rip you down, and I don't get a lot of time to build you back up. Yeah. We've been building you up for however many years it's been. How many?
11.
11 years. And so I ain't about to tear you down. I ain't about to do that. But I will tell you that if you pursue the art form of acting, yeah. I want you to understand that the shoes are very important for every character you play, because it says something about them. Mm-hmm. So if you're walking in heels versus if you're walking in tennies, doesn't that say something about you today? Mm-hmm. It does. If you're a character in real life who only wears heels, doesn't that say something about you? Mm-hmm. Of course it does. Of course. So I do believe that actually, so this is just a note for your future, the shoes should be the first thing you buy, and you should always get it for goodwill. Don't spend a bunch of money on it. Borrow from a friend, whatever. But it should be a pair of shoes that you feel like represent your character, and you don't need the rest of the garb. You just need the shoes in order to rehearse, because the shoes are touching the ground. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that are going to ground you into the scene. Okay? So, whether or not you're able to find a way to get shoes tomorrow or not. I just want you to know you can release that excuse because you don't need it. You don't need it.
Okay.
All right. So here's what we should do. We're going to start over and run the beginning of the scene a few times and see if we can get it on the train tracks. Okay? Meaning loud enough, you grab the room, and we feel the weight of your thought life.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get there, even in a couple lines, then you can work on it and think it through and really like strategize how you can make that more so throughout the scene. We will take 3 minutes to let you tuck back your hair and hide everything back.
And also, these are lash extensions. I won't wear a highlighter tomorrow, but those aren't going, so sorry. 7?
So what you do, you don't need to tell me they're not going. We don't need to fight over what you're going to do or not going to do. I'm giving you the why, and then you understand the why. That's it. So all you would do is you're like, well, I spent money on this thing that I don't want to undo or whatever. Just don't bring attention to it. You know, don't bring more attention to it with whatever makeup or something like that. You know what I mean? Your eye extensions.
Eye extensions.
Right? I assume that the lashes. Just don't bring more attention to it. That's all. You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you got 2 minutes to go hide your hair. There's a mirror right through there. You want to just get pin it up. I don't want to see it in the back either.
Okay.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Yes, sir.
So now you have to stop being embarrassed.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's silly, and you don't need to be silly. So what you have to now what I want you to think about, Riley, is Father, is how does she walk?
Yeah.
Because from now on, when it's pre-scene, no one should even be able to talk to you.
Yeah.
You should be so serious and in the zone. So when you come out, how is she trained to sit, to walk? She has been formally trained. And when you don't do it right. Up, 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 up. Chin up. Good. So from here, you're out so that we can see your eyes, if we can get there through the eyelashes. Because we want to see you.
That like made me terrible, but actually, I don't know why.
You're welcome. Because you know this is we're getting close to the end, my love.
Guys, I've been
I'm not
cheering
crying
up
till
all day.
tomorrow. You can cry today. Sit up straight. Sit up straight. Sit up straight. Sit up straight. Okay. So where you are right now in these tears is actually where. Listen to me.
Okay.
That's where Sister James belongs. Because this sucks, man. This sucks. She shouldn't be in this situation. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go ahead and curse that we have a discretion on our YouTube. Fuck him. Fuck every person like him. If he did it. Anyone who takes advantage of a child, screw them. And you are a child, damn it. And you've been forced to have to think about things that you shouldn't have to think about. That sucks. But now you're there. So now you're up and you're thinking and you're praying and you're just like, I want to get out of this. But Sister Aloysius brings up a great point. What are you going to do? Look the other way? Does that make it better? Young lady, you have to fight. You have to be strong. I need you. You're my pair of eyes. You. There's a wolf. And he's going to go rampant unless we are diligent. So you sit up. You stop crying. You visualize what you shouldn't have to visualize, which is the Donald Muller. Okay, stay there. You enter and you see her. And you think. And you decide. Because what the hell? What the hell? We have a chemistry, you and me. I'm the cool priest, damn it. How could you, of all, I expected of that, SOB, but you, I love you. I know you love me. And you come in and you're fired up from the pain and the hurt of her saying something to somebody. So when you say, what are you thinking about? What are you dreaming about? Why not? You know the damn answer. You know it. It's rhetorical. Can't sleep? Why not? Curious. Was a dream about me? You're damn right. Or the sermon about me? You're damn right it's about you. About women who gossip. Damn right. And it is a sin. Just so everybody knows. And I'm the priest and I determine what's a sin. That's a big one. He's the man. He's the man. So he'll come through with energy and passion and a lot of fire, especially when he's talking about that bitch that he hates. Mm-hmm. Once he sees that she started to soften, he's a tactician, he'll switch. Now we're in confession, and I'm the loving priest that gets to be there for you while we both complain about her. So you listen for the turn, and then you get there. To which she leaves and says, what? I don't believe it. You don't? No. Then he looks up at the crow and he says, oh, be quiet. Whereas before he said, what kind of bird is that? And at the end he says, bird. What does that say about his character? Minimum, he's an egotistical guy. Minimum. We don't know if he's guilty, and I will not condemn him, but I will condemn some of the things that are pretty obvious about him. Okay? So when you play that, it gives us this like, ooh, like I love this guy. I love him. I love his sermons. I love everything about him in this way. And then, whoa, he's got a dark side. But then don't we all? Doubt. Sit up.
Good afternoon, Sister James.
Nope. Two things are wrong. Your eyes are not open and out. Have to see you thinking. You don't, the floor's not an option. You must think. I gotta see you think. I gotta see you decide. I'm going to her. Okay? One of the reasons that I fell in love with this play, I actually got to see these two actors on Broadway. So I got to see it, the real one. John Patrick Shanley was there in the audience, approving this message. Okay, so the choices that were made, it's like I've seen it. I've seen it. I understand it. The amount, like the way they had movement and different like turns and the simplicity. I love the simplicity of this play. There's a bench and two people and some great writing. And you must be a great actor to pull that off. So if your eyes are down, I don't get to see your thoughts. I must see you thinking. When you come out, I have to see you seeing her thoughts, having an opinion about it, and then making the decision, I'm jumping in. Okay? Then, based upon that, she feels your energy, which should do something to her insides, because you are who you are, which is a guy who's got a lot of power. In this particular organization, at this particular location, you are the king, and it's not a democracy. You might lose your place as well. Are you threatening me? You're damn right I'm threatening you. Of course he's threatening her. He has all the power. Eyes up. Look up at the bird. He's in the tree. Up there. That'll open your eyes.
Good afternoon, Sister James.
Good afternoon, Father.
What is that bird
Okay,
complaining
good.
about?
Good. Better. We got the walk. That was correct. Missed the first line, but the walk was great. You walked a little unconfidently when you stopped. Mm-hmm. He has every ounce of confidence in the entire world. Mm-hmm. He's made the decision. You're looking at him too confidently. You're living in today's world. Your character's from that world. And in that world, women, new nuns, they don't look at the priest for very long. He walks in and it's, good morning, Father. Like, holy, holy, holy. Okay? So the fact that you're giving yourself just liberal permission to look at him doesn't work for her character. It doesn't give him the power that he needs. And then you must be able to see her, see the bird, move out to the bird so we're both fourth wall. But it's your response to him, but you must also demand it. So the fact that you weren't sure about yourself on your feet doesn't give her enough of a reason to look away, because you're not coming in saying, "You're damn right it's the priest walking in." You're damn right. And if she's looking at me, you better look away. Again.
Good afternoon, Sister James.
Good afternoon, Father.
What is that bird complaining about? What kind of bird is that? A starling?
Great. Better. Why do you feel weird? I'm at pop quiz.
I'm trying to cheat, but I don't know
Yeah.
how to do it.
So let me help you.
I don't know how far
So let
that-
me help you.
Cool.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I was hoping that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Because that's the truth.
Yeah.
You come here. Or here.
Yeah, okay.
And I could come in, let her feel my presence. Good morning, Sister James. I don't have to look at her again because she knows she in trouble.
Good morning, Father. Good morning, Father.
Yeah, you better speak up because I'm the priest, and if you don't match my volume, the audience won't be able to hear a word you are saying.
Okay. Good morning, Father.
The bird.
The damn bird.
Why? It's so well written. Think about it. Why? Shanley wrote that and he goes, yeah, I got it. That's a good one. Like, he's killing it in this play. Think about what you say.
What is that bird complaining about?
The squawky bird just, what does it have to be complaining about?
Yeah.
Noah's been trying to figure that out this whole time, too, by the way. So this is kind of funny.
She's looking at the bird. If I was a sly guy, if I'm good at what I do, I'll ask her about what she's interested in. I might even know it's a crow. Throw out some other brands of birds. show off my knowledge a little bit to give us common ground.
Yep.
Maybe. So, now it showed you how to stand so you don't have to feel weird.
Okay. Good afternoon, Sister James.
Good afternoon, Father.
What is that bird complaining about?
Nope.
What is that bird complaining about?
Good, wipe the smile off your face.
What kind of bird is that? A starling? A grackle?
A crow?
Of course it is. You seem subdued.
Up, Riley.
Oh,
Are you praying?
I can't sleep.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm not praying. No.
Can you be more precise with your words? I want you to work on your diction. Sit up.
I'm not praying. No.
You seem subdued.
Oh. I can't sleep.
Why not?
You seem subdued. Say that again. Feel.
You seem subdued.
Go to your tears.
Oh. I can't sleep.
Why not?
Bad dreams. Actually, one bad dream, and then I haven't slept right since.
What about?
I looked in a mirror, and there was a darkness where my face should
Go
be.
back to what about.
What about?
Think for a second. maybe peek toward him, decide if you're going to tell him this or not. And you don't have to look back. So this is another lesson for, and this is your guys' first class, so you might not have heard this before. What you want to do is give the other actor permission to look at you. If I'm looking, I'm not giving you permission. If I'm looking away, I'm giving permission. So if I see her peripherally that she's out, then I can look. If she looks down and I see the movement, I could check, process that, come back. If I feel her looking at me, there are times when I just want her to see it. So because I want her to soak in what I'm giving, I won't look down, because if I look down, she should look away.
That's what was my decision, was thinking she's looking at me too long. Let me look back and have her turn away. What do you think of that choice?
Well, sure, but you didn't make her look away.
Right.
Because I stopped the scene.
Right.
So what do you need to do in your eyes to make her feel like, oh, I shouldn't be looking at you? If that's your choice, then your choice is there, but you better win that.
Yeah. Heard.
You seem subdued.
You seem subdued.
Oh, I can't sleep.
Why not?
Bad dreams. Actually, one bad dream, and then I haven't slept right since.
Listen to that. Listen to what that means to him. What does it mean to him? She's dreaming about you being a bad guy.
What about?
Yes.
I looked in a mirror and there was a darkness where my face should be.
Breathe. It wasn't about you.
It frightened me.
Yes, correct. Good. So now, and you should notice him sitting, right? And then that should bring something to you, because man, you joined the convent at the beginning. Man, celebrity, power, all the stuff I feel weird about is because of him. So when he sits down, it should send shivers down your spine, because if it does, it sends shivers down our spines. The dream wasn't about you. The movement was perfect. It was instinctual.
I can't sleep on occasion.
No? Do you see that big hand pointing a finger at you?
Yes. Sometimes.
See, you're laughing because you're feeling that it was right. It was right. We're allowed to laugh, you're not, but it's okay, because it happens the first time it happens, where you're like, oh, that's what the play feels like. And you get shivers. And we laughed because we felt the tension you could slice with a knife. We both look away, and it's like, oh my God. Two different perspectives, trying to get through this, trying to navigate this moment.
Yeah.
Right? So good. So you felt it. Now you don't get to laugh anymore, but that's, you accidentally stumbled upon what we call a happy accident here. And by setting it up properly, you'll fall into more and more of those.
Yeah.
And therefore, it brings us back to pedophilia, gay, segregation, power struggle, Catholic Church religion, and somehow, some way, we as an audience are laughing. Wow. That's when you're like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with some big stuff. And all we're really doing at the end of the day, in a well-written play, is asking the audience to go and ask some questions.
Yeah.
Reflect. I really appreciate, as someone who is ashamed of what's been exposed of the Catholic Church, but also ashamed of what's been exposed all over the place in other areas. I appreciate that the finger's not pointed directly at the Catholic Church only, but that it brings attention to all of these things. Like, do we have an issue with power and whatnot when it comes to government? Yeah. These institutions that we've trusted for so long that we're all like kind of like, whoa, they're lying to us? No way. This play does a really good job of just making you stop and think. So let's get back into it.
I can't sleep on occasion.
No? Do you see that big hand pointing a finger at you?
Yes. Sometimes.
Was your sermon directed at anyone in particular?
What do you think?
Did you make up the story about the pillow?
Good. When you ask him that, are you really asking? Okay, do it again. A little louder, a little more clear. Be a little more firm. You wrote an entire sermon. You know, that takes me a week, by the way, to write a sermon. I did the whole thing for you. You're welcome.
What do you think?
What do you think? Ask him again.
Was your sermon directed at anyone in particular?
What do you think?
Did you make up the story about the pillow?
Yes. You make up little stories to illustrate in the tradition of the parable.
You sound weak. He's not weak.
Yes. You
Out. Out. Yes, don't judge me.
Yes.
See, get rid of the smile. You're smiling too much. Save it. Save it. Save that charismatic smile for when you get to use it later. You haven't won her over yet.
Yeah.
So right now it's serious and it's also fact-finding. You're getting through the facts. What is her teaching philosophy, would you suppose? Well, I don't have to suppose. She's told me. Really? Do share. Because I'm sure this information will be very important when I talk to the board later about why she must be removed. So please, in detail, tell me about how she has ruined your love of teaching, how she's cold as ice. You've won. So far you haven't. Right now, fact-finding. Mm-hmm. You must maintain your power. So when I say, what do you think? It's not a smile. Was the sermon directed at anyone? Yeah, it was directed at you. To show how sweet and young and naive she is. She actually wants to know if he made up the story. Obviously, he made up the story. She doesn't know for sure. It's cute. It's cute that she's that naive. But what's sad is we watch her innocence completely disappear in a matter of 2 hours during this play. All right, ask him again.
Did you make up the story about the pillow?
What do you think?
Yeah, right. And ask him the question I wanted you to ask him, which is the one that's the answer for.
Oh, okay.
And louder, please, Riley.
Okay.
Here's the thing. It shouldn't be where when I speak, the class goes, oh! But it's that way because you're not demanding their attention. I demand their attention.
Okay.
Demand it with your voice. Use your voice. Demand their attention. Go.
Was your sermon directed at anyone in particular?
What do you think?
Did you make up the story about the pillow?
Yes. You make up little stories to illustrate in the tradition of the parable.
Aren't the things that actually happen more worthy of interpretation than
No.
a made-up story?
No, what actually
Do
happens...
it again. You must listen. And by the way, now teach her something. I think you stare at her too much.
Okay.
So back to the looking thing. I look at you to maintain my power. Once I have it, I can look away.
Okay.
Aren't the things
And
that
I'm sorry. And there are times when I do want her to look at me. I want her to see that I'm mad. So you've probably heard me say this in script class before, the idea of you're in a fight with your significant other and you're the one driving and the other person just looks out the window. And it's like, everything okay? Yeah. Obviously not. Obviously you looked away to get attention because you want me to see that you're mad, right? That's the perfect example of what we should be doing, is like when I want her to see how sweet I am, or I want her to see how mad I am, or whatever, I actually have to give her permission to look at me.
aren't the things that actually happen in life more worthy of interpretation than a made-up story?
No. What actually happens in life is beyond interpretation. The truth makes for a bad sermon. It tends to be confusing and have no clear conclusion.
I received a letter from my brother in Maryland yesterday. He's very sick.
Maybe you should go and see him.
I can't leave my class.
Breathe. What do you think? What do you think is the deeper meaning here?
How's Donald...
Hold on. What's the deeper meaning to that line? I'll give it to you. Sister Aloysius said, "You can't leave. Not right now, we're in the middle of a crisis, but my brother's sick. Tough shit. You can't leave your class. You have responsibilities. Now get back to class." He says, maybe you should go see him, which, by the way, would be great for you. Good timing. Why don't you go see your brother, take a couple weeks, hit the beach, let all this settle. I can't leave my class. You know, because you're going to have subtext of, I'm not allowed, per Aloysius, to which that subtext cues you to say something about Donald Muller. You hear the subtext. Ah, there it is. Let's go ahead and go there. All right, again.
Getting close to wrap time, Matt. Just so you know.
All right, this will be the last bit.
I can't leave my class.
How's Donald Mueller doing?
I don't know.
You don't see him?
I see him every day, but I don't know how he's doing. I don't know how to judge these things now.
Yeah. So, and we could sit on those 4 lines for an hour. I don't know how to judge those things, comma, now. Now that my innocence has been ripped from me, I no longer know how to see a child's eyes without thinking, oh my God, what happened? So it's the subtext. And when we start to look at certain things, it's like potentially that line that you come up with, how's Donald Muller doing now? I don't know if it's Muller or Mueller. I think it was Muller, but neither here nor there. It's possible that was a hard one for you to memorize because it's a weird shift. To which, when that happens, the best thing you can do is ask yourself why. why is there a weird shift here? And is it weird? And is there something more to it? And then once you find it, you're like, you can lead me in, I can lead him in, because I understand this is a part of that. All right, we're going to talk about it now. Turn your bench toward me. Thank you. Yeah. All right, first master class. Congratulations. How we feeling?
Feel good. It's hard for me not to smile.
You can smile now.
Okay.
You can smile now. We got through it. Woo!
Hey, you guys.
Everything it was cracked up to be, as intense as you thought it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling, kid?
Good.
Yeah?
I've been literally like, he knows. I walked in the studio, he's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. And as I was saying that, like my tears, like my eyes started filling.
Yeah.
And then when I started crying for the scene, I just like that, like let it like out. Let nothing out, by the way. I don't know why. I'm in a really good mood. I got Dutch this morning. But other than that, I'm feeling great. I just didn't want to like have that tea.
You got Dutch Bros this morning?
I did, yes. Double thick parfait style.
I clarified that because I don't know if that's some kind of a slang.
She got
Like
Dutch, yeah.
I figured it's coffee. All right, good.
That's where Joe used to work.
Oh, really? No
Yes.
way.
He
That's
hates
crazy.
people like me.
You
Yeah.
used to work? That's nice. Right. Thank you for telling me that. So, what did we learn?
There's a lot more weight to simple lines than you think. Meaning, I knew the weight of this play, but just this scene alone, like the subtext, the thought life, all the things that you were bringing to light, didn't realize how even the smallest things can shift the entire scene.
Yeah.
So,
There was like hours and hours of calls and in person where we were analyzing like each line, and some of them it was literally just like, okay, well we're gonna like go with it this way, but you explained it so well that it like definitely shifted perspective on a lot of the rest of the lines.
Good. And you know, and it's not fair because I've coached this scene many times. I've done the scene, I've done the play, I've watched it on Broadway. You know, people are like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, I study really hard. You know, I know this stuff pretty good. But that being said, what I try to instill in you is a love and a passion for that digging deeper.
yeah.
Because there's just a difference when you go see a play that's put up and it's done pretty well and they got to the end. And here's the other thing too is I try not to judge plays because someone asked me, I'm going, it wasn't that good. I'll tell them the truth. But at the same time, I try not to judge that because good on them. They put up a play, they got to the end, and there's always going to be a time limit. So it's like, I got 3 months to work on it or 1 month to work on it or whatever, and then it's a certain point, it's opening day and we're going to put up what we got, you know. So for that reason, I don't judge those things.
Yeah.
The only thing I look for is like, are the actors digging deep, and are they actually hungry for some kind of a leg up? Like, do they want to know more? And I think that's a characteristic that we all should strive for.
Yeah.
Is like, if there's a better answer, I want to know it. I don't want to be embarrassed. I'd love to know if I'm doing it wrong. That would fill my bucket because that means, oh, great, I got more work to do to go backwards and make sure all my choices still make sense.
Yep.
So, good. And this will not be your last master class.
It will be, but
No, it won't.
I'll be in Alabama.
So, how are you going to get there?
A plane. Oh.
It'll be your last master class for a while, you know,
Yes.
but it's not like we're not going to see your face again.
Yeah.
You have family here, right?
No, that'll make me cry.
We'll do that tomorrow. We'll have a cry together. We'll share it. We'll save it for tomorrow. All right.
I can't talk about
Work
it
as hard
later.
as you can. I know you have some obligations for
We'll
for,
be here for a
for
little
your
bit.
graduation, but work as hard as you can. Focus on what we talked about. You're coming off being sick, but I need a voice,
Yeah.
okay? Lose your voice on the scene, it's worth it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Cool.